today is the last and final installment to my series update. This is a 3-part series in which I updated you on all of the books that I have either finished in a series, I'm in the middle of in a series, or the series that I am DNFing. If you missed the first 2 parts of this year's update or the last year's updates, check them in the description box below. They will be there for you. And if you haven't yet, I would love it if you would subscribe. Guys, can I first start off by telling you that I am recording 10 videos today. This is number 8, and I have 2 more to go. And you may be seeing a different shirt, but really the same day as the last shirt I was wearing. Anyway, that's not important. Let's move on to the series that I have DNF'd. I have this into 2 categories. Some of these series are really long and they're either companion novels or series that I'm not particularly interested in and I don't own. So I'm not particularly DNFing them, but I don't anticipate reading the entire series at least. The first one of these is a series that I just recently started, and that is the On Dublin Street series by Samantha Young. This is a whole bunch of, I think, companion romance novels, but like smutty romance novels, which is what I was in the mood for this summer. I liked the first one well enough. I think I gave it a 3.5 on Dublin Street, but I'm not particularly interested in finishing them. I might pick up a book here or there when I'm interested in the smutty romance books again, but because it wasn't like blow my mind fantastic, I might not. So it's sort of on the fence. I definitely won't be reading all 6 books in the series. I just don't have time and I don't care enough, but I may read 1 or 2 more. The same thing goes for the Fairytale series by Eloisa James. I read the first one, A Kiss at Midnight, and I do own the second one, The Beauty Tamed the Beast, so I probably will read this one at least, but I didn't like them enough to want to continue on with them, and I've had a lot of fairytale retellings recently, so not really my jam. I will at least finish this one because I do own it. Next up is a series that I won't be picking up the audiobook for, but if a friend of mine or I find them in a thrift store, I will potentially continue on with the series, and that's the Dark Angel series by Eden McGuire. This one was sold to me as like a forbidden paranormal romance, and it wasn't very heavy on the romance department. It was more heavy on the creepy occult vibes that I wasn't really feeling. But I did like our main character enough to potentially want to continue on with the series, but I'm not going to go out and buy them. If they get given to me or I find them in a charity shop for like 25 cents, then I'll probably pick it up. But if I don't, I won't be continuing on with the series. But I don't hate it enough to unhaul this book. A lot of the series that I'm going to mention in a minute, I didn't like enough, and so I unhauled them. The last couple series are series that I read the first book of and I did not like whatsoever, so I will not be continuing on with the series. I've gotten really good at either DNFing books or DNFing series because I just didn't like them, and I have too much I want to read, and so I always just force myself to finish a book or finish a series, especially if I bought it and I invested money in it. But I can't be bothered, and I'd rather give it to somebody who would actually like it. The first one is Wind on Fire series by Nicholson. I just unhauled this one. I didn't like it. It was a middle grade book, and it was a weird middle grade book. I don't like middle grade books in general, but it just got a little creepy. I wouldn't let my kids read it, and it kind of gave me the chills. Anyway, I didn't like it. Won't be finishing it. It has been unhauled. The next series I DNF'd is the Chronicles by Margaret, Stohl, and Garcia. I read the first one, Beautiful Creatures. It was okay. It was a little dark, and I didn't particularly like it. I'm not a big fan of witch books or caster books or anything that gets too evil, pentagram kind of stuff. This was a little less romance, a little more weird. I can handle weird. I mean, I read the Nevernight Chronicles. I like those, but these I just didn't like. They didn't sit well with me for some reason, so I DNF'd them. I had the first book, unhauled it. It is no more. The next 2 series are possibly unpopular opinions, one more than the other. But I started the first book and I didn't like it, so I DNF'd it. I still have the books because I want to do a DNF'd book series recently, so I'm saving them for a while. The first one is the Hibiscus Sisters Duology. Let me tell you, first of all, I love this cover, and the next book is my favorite color, bluish green. So I'm tempted to buy it just because I like the book cover, but I'll wait till it comes out in a charity shop. Anyway, I got about 200 pages into this. I was gonna finish it, but I decided not to because I wasn't picking it up. It had been months and months on end, And the reason I didn't like it is because it's more magical realism, and I'm finding that I am not a huge magical realism fan. I think it's because it's too close to actual reality and I can't really relate to it, and they always seem to have this weird vibe. I don't know, I'm all about the weird vibes in this video apparently. I just didn't like it. DNF'd it. I'll keep it for a little bit until I do my next DNF book series, but then it will go. And lastly is probably a book that people are gonna yell at me for not liking and not finishing, and that is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. The Children of Orisha Chronicles, I guess. Okay, so here's the thing about this book. It got a lot of hype because of the setting, and I will be the first one to say I think the setting of this book is fantastic. I think the magic in this book is fantastic. Those things are done very well. Because of that, people really overlooked the tropes in this book that are so overdone, so eye-roll worthy, and so just no. Like, no. If it hadn't even been for the setting, I wouldn't have gotten as far as I did. I got up to page 193, and then this is another one that I kept saying, I will finish someday, I will finish someday. I'm not gonna finish it. I didn't like it. I'm really sorry if you really liked it, but I didn't. And personally, I think that the setting overweighed the tropes, and so the hype of this book got so huge, and I didn't think I was gonna like it when I got started, but I picked it up anyway, and I didn't like it, and I'm gonna stop now because it's making me angry. If you're still with me, and you haven't left because I just insulted your favorite book, we have come to the end of my DNF series video. That is all the series that I plan on DNFing. That is quite a lot. I think in the last series I only had 2 or 3, and I wasn't even completely decided on if I was going to DNF them. So I am proud of myself for all of the series that I have finished, for the progress that I've made on other series, and for actually DNFing series. That is an accomplishment. Let me know down below what is a series that you DNF. If you have not yet, I would love it if you would subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.